What's up, chess player? I'm back with a round number 2 of the German Chess Championship. I have played as white here, the second round of the day, d4, d5, Slav defense. And yeah, it's gonna be very instructive for you how I managed to outplay my opponent twice in this one game. So knight f6, queen to c2. Here it goes from the very beginning. I don't want to go into the main line of the Slav defense. I'm playing queen to c2 here, knight to c3, sacrificing the pawn. But if you take it, I mean, I have e4, I have a4, I have the control of the center, and I have some imbalance in the position. And that is exactly what I need. So knight to c3, bishop to g7 has been played, bishop f4, just continuing the development, bishop to f5, now attacking the queen with the tempo, queen to b3, seems like the only reasonable move. I'm attacking here the b7 pawn and I'm putting some pressure on the d5 pawn. So my opponent played queen to b6, just trying to, defend everything, go into the endgame. But something very amazing happened here. I played just e3, and my opponent played knight to a6. He's preparing just to crush me here. Knight b4, knight c2 check. I mean, that looks very, very scary. But I have calculated some tactics here. So I have taken on the d5, and you can't really take it back. I mean, if you take it with a pawn, for example, there is bishop to b5 check, and that's very annoying to deal with. The engine says you should play king f8, but then, yeah, definitely something went wrong. So the point was for my opponent to play knight to b4, Zwischenzug, so to say in German, to just threaten knight to c2, and then if I protect it, then take back on d5. But that is not what happens in the game, because I'm sacrificing my entire rook here and I'm taking on c6. I mean, isn't that amazing? Hit the like button if you enjoy this move. The point is, if you try to get to the rook, I'm just playing king to d1. You take, the queen, let's say, for example, you take the rook on a1, you're a full rook up, but this amazing pawn that took on d5, on c6, now is taken on b7, attacking the rook, and you have no way to stop the promotion. I mean, you must castle or play rook d8, whatever happens, I'm just taking it, and then I'm entirely 2 pawns up, and this knight is still very clumsy here, so this position is completely winning for white. That is why here takes on c6 works for me. My opponent just took it back, saying that, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice a pawn, but you still need to deal with those threats, so it's gonna be dangerous. Rook to c1, covering the c2 square, absolutely important, but knight c2 still works, and that is amazing, because if I take it with a rook, then queen takes b3, Zwischenzug again, and then black takes on c2, winning the exchange. I don't want that, of course, so I played here king to d2. I mean, yeah, the king is in the center, but so what? The king is a very strong piece, so why not to use it? Even though there are a bunch of pieces on the board, but yeah, to be honest, I just calculated that I'm gonna eliminate the queens out of the board in every case, like with the move a3 or whatever, if knight b4 happens, and then in the endgame, I don't care if my king is in the center, there is no danger for it. So, but of course, if there are still queens on the board, you should be very, very careful with putting your king in the center. So my opponent just took here, saying that, okay, I'm a pawn down, but you are having those double pawns, and a very funny fact, both of us have thought that this position is great for us, because we have analyzed it a little bit after the game, and he said, well, I was happy here, I mean, I have the initiative, okay, I'm a pawn down, but those are the weaknesses, and I thought, well, okay, what is the fastest way to win the game, because I thought that's so much better for me. I was very happy to get it. I played bishop to c4, but yeah, I'm gonna spoil the whole advantage, so you have to see it. I needed to start from all over again. So rook to d8, kind of weird move. I thought that I'm winning immediately here, and according to the engine, that is true, but somehow I played king to e2 just to step back. The right move is bishop to c7 now, rook goes to c8, and bishop to a5, just attacking this knight, pushing it away, and then, yeah, black is basically busted. So instead I played king to e2, just eliminating the possibility of counterattack from my opponent, and that is still pretty strong. Castles, and now rook to d1, and I thought, well, I have developed all of my pieces, everything is in the center, everything is perfect, and I'm also a pawn up, what could be better than that? But knight d5, it's getting very sharp, very concretely. My initial plan was to play bishop to e5, but then I realized the problem is knight takes c3 takes and knight a2, and suddenly the rook has to go away, but then knight takes c3 winning the exchange. So even though still I have here probably enough compensation for the exchange, I didn't want that, and so I thought I have to play rook to a1, allowing knight takes f4, and that is a huge mistake, just completely giving away the whole advantage. The right move was bishop to g5. That is pretty amazing because, well, still the same idea might seem to work, but here it doesn't work because takes, knight a2, I have bishop takes e7. And if you try to defend it first, play f6 for example, then I'm going away, and seems like, yeah, now it should work, but no, there is a pin now, so that is why black can't do anything. You can play h6 as well, trying to push the king, the bishop away, but now knight takes d5 works. And taking with the pawn was always a problem for me, because now the pawn structure is good, two bishops are hanging, but I have bishop takes e7 once again, and everything works perfectly for white. So that was the right solution, but unfortunately I haven't seen that, or yeah, I have underestimated that opportunity, and I decided to play rook a1. Now takes, and the reason why it's equal now according to the engine is because there is just a monster there on g7, just controlling pretty much the entire position here. Knights to c2 could have been the best move, and now I wanted to take on a7, takes, and here I thought that should be good for me because I'm 2 pawns up. But here, instead of taking immediately on d4, black could play bishop g4 first, and then everything works out for black. But what happened in the game instead was a6, kind of a weird move, trying to just defend it, and yeah, bishop a6 wouldn't be that great. So I played rook to a4, now rook to b8, and knight to e5. I mean, how beautiful this knight is. And once again, I'm having here a huge advantage because there are so many weaknesses in black's camp here. And yeah, the knight is just amazing there. And you cannot play f6. That is the biggest problem for black. You can never play f6 because it's pinned, and if you go king to h8, then the f7 pawn is hanging. Yeah, there is just no way. e6, knight d7 fork. So my opponent came up with an idea of bishop h6, trying to play king g7 and f6. But the problem is with that, king to f3, now king to g7, yeah, preparing the move, f6, but look at this bishop, it has literally no moves. So I immediately played g4, attacking this bishop. My opponent played f6, and yeah, stopping the move g5, and of course attacking the knight. Now I cannot take the bishop, at least I thought so, because that would activate my opponent's rook, and I definitely don't want to do that. Then this bishop would be also active. So instead I played knight takes c6, and now there are a few options for black. You can take on g4, but then I take it back, and then I take on a6, and I have a lot of extra pawns, a lot of activity, everything is great. My opponent decided to take immediately here, and then I took here, still a very good position for white. Here, a funny thing happened, my opponent forgot about the en passant rule, and he played e5, didn't expect me to take it on e6. I took, and he immediately resigned because there is nothing more to do. Let me know in the comments, please, whether you have ever forgotten about the en passant rule and lost your game because of that. Thank you very much for being with me. I hope this game was instructive for you. I'm very excited to share it with you because, yeah, this tournament is amazing here, and it's still only round number 2. There is 7 more rounds to go. Hopefully you're gonna be with me along the way. See you next time. Thank you very much. And if you have missed the first round somehow, it's gonna be somewhere here. Definitely take a look because it's an amazing Sicilian defense. If you want to master this opening, you absolutely must take a look at it. It's gonna improve your chess level and your overall chess understanding.